Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Kier, and this is Jason. And today we actually are starting a new series. We're going to be calling this our Indie of the Week, where we'll actually take one film from an independent director. We've been inundated with emails from independent directors as well as producers, and we're actually going to start a series where we actually start reviewing some of these independent films and reviewing them and discussing them in detail. And so this will be our first show of that series. And so the film that we picked for today will be called Black Rabbit, which is actually directed by a local Sacramento film director. And in this case, I'm actually going to have Jason take it away for us on this one. So he'll do the review on this one, and then we'll discuss it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
All right. So yeah, this movie's called Black Rabbit. It is directed by, as you mentioned, the Sacramento, and we are based in Sacramento, obviously, as our name. But this was directed by Britton Thomas, who lives here in Sacramento. It was shot in Sacramento, which is pretty cool. And he is, at the time that he made this movie, which was just last year, I think, he was just 18 years old. So pretty impressive to mount a feature film, like a full-length feature film, that looks this professional. It does look very good. I know you, Kier, you and I made some films when we were, I don't know, 20 or so that didn't look as professional as this. That's for sure.
Definitely not. They were shot on like a VHS like camcorder.
One of those giant VHS ones, and like edited on tape. And yeah, I'm proud of them. But they looked a little patchy. So anyway, Black Rabbit is about the lead character is named Peter, played by Jesse Janzen, and he is a hitman, I think, a hitman. And basically the story is, it's all takes place in a pretty constrained time frame. There's flashbacks and stuff like that, but most of the action takes place over the course of one night, I would say. And it's one of the film. It's kind of like Reservoir Dogs in that it's about the more or less the aftermath of a crime. Something bad has just happened to the governor of California, who is not Gavin Newsom at this time. It's a fictional governor in the movie, but obviously, the governor has just been killed, and this is kind of the aftermath of the crime. And then from then on, it is very non-chronological the way it's ordered, because the main character, we're led to believe, is having a kind of a mental breakdown at the same time all this is happening. So the movie jumps back and forth in time. It jumps back and forth between what's real, what might be real, and what's pretty obviously a hallucination of some kind. So that's the kind of movie it is. It reminded me a lot of Memento. Which is a good thing, because that's one of my favorite movies. In the sense that it's told out of order. There is some flashbacks between him and his wife, and it's kind of unclear that something bad may have happened to his wife. But it's an interesting movie. It looks great. It looks very professional. There's some really well-framed shots in there. Some good use of some special effects, light special effects. And I liked it. I think it's a promising effort. I would like to see, certainly for somebody who's 18, 19 years old, for sure. There are rough patches that come with any film that's like a first film, on a lower budget, younger filmmaker. There are definitely some aspects in the story that didn't seem quite logical, and I'm not talking about the hallucinations and stuff like that. I love non-chronological editing, dream sequences, hallucinations. I'm just talking about like the real world story. Not all of that was quite realistic exactly. To me, it appeared that way anyway. And there's some rough patches, and I would like to see something that's a little more of the filmmaker's own voice, with his future films, because it did, like I said, it reminded me a lot of other movies, which is fine. That's fine to show your influences, but I'm hoping to see more of an original voice in the future. for Mr. Thomas. But very, very impressive first effort for someone who was 18 for sure. Yeah. What do you think here?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. So yeah, like I said, and we're doing these indies of the week because we're a fan of independent filmmakers, and and a lot of times I feel like the guys that are starting out, guys and girls that are starting out that are new directors, and just getting their craft together and putting out films, they don't get noticed usually till they've done 4 or 5 films, and then they have a film that plays at like a some sort of independent film festival or something of that nature, and they kind of catapult from there. And so and that's why we're kind of shining a light on these directors and producers and filmmakers that are getting their craft together, and just honing their skills, and then hopefully improving upon that. And so yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's a very well shot film. There was a lot of good techniques that he used that were utilized in the film that I definitely enjoyed. I wasn't bored. I thought the story was interesting. I just had some minor issues, as you did, with some of the way that the flashbacks were told. Didn't quite like. There were times where I couldn't tell if this was actually a flashback or this was a hallucination or exactly what was going on at this particular point in the film. And just some of the things that was going on in terms of the conflict that he was having, the main character and then other characters that were involved. It was kind of hard to figure out exactly what was going on. Like,
I think that was on purpose too. A lot of
that might have been on purpose. That might have been intentional to do it that way. But sometimes it doesn't quite resonate. Because even after I finished it, it wasn't like that. Like Memento, an example, and this one did remind me a little bit of that one. Like Memento, it was like, what's going on here? But by the time I finished the film, I was like, okay, it all totally makes sense. This one, I'd say mostly made sense, but there were still elements that I was still a little fuzzy and a little confused on exactly, what happened or why it happened and that kind of stuff. So I did like that it does have some sort of a I guess twist element to it, which I think is really cool. And I definitely appreciate that he went out and he did, he made the film. And like I said, if he was 18 years old when he made it, that's highly commendable and, like you said, very impressive. We were in our 20s and we weren't making anything nearly as professional as this. So what am I going to say? But I do feel like there's definitely some room for improvement. But I did, like I said, overall, I didn't think it was a terrible film, or anything that I was bored or constantly looking at my watch. And it's a very short film as well. I think it's maybe has under a 90-minute running time. I believe it's like 81 minutes or something.
81 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very short film, short and sweet, and so there's not a whole lot of, downtime, if you will, other than maybe some of the flashbacks, which were still kind of like figuring out what was going on and that kind of stuff. So, the acting I thought was good. I thought the lead actor was pretty good. Some of the other actors, some of them were better than others. Some of them seem like they maybe have had more experience acting than some of the other ones. So, and that kind of came across on screen as well. But everything's for practice. So I definitely think that, hats off to him, to Britton Thomas for your first film. I think it was a great effort. Definitely would love to see what you do in the future. And, like I said, we're a fan of the arts. We're a fan of someone that's trying something different, and it doesn't hurt that he's local here in Sacramento. I think that's awesome. This film was actually kind of sort of recommended to us from the California Film Foundation, which we're also members of. And so, we were kind of excited. Had a premiere of it last week. So I do know that it's on Vimeo now, but I don't know if it's going to be on other platforms like a Amazon Prime or something of that nature in the future. I do know that it is on Vimeo now, so if you do want to check it out, you can definitely rent it on there. But overall, like I said, not a bad first effort. Definitely, like I said, definitely would love to see what he does in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, we are we're a movie review show. So the all important question is, I guess just your overall grade and I guess the face you would give this film.
Oh, I would give it 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5, which for me is in the B-, C plus range. I'd probably lean toward the B minus. And again, that's I'm not really altering my rating scale for the indies that we're doing.
No, not at all.
So that's rating it on the same level that I would rate any movie that comes out. So that's pretty good for a first effort for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Me, I'm always, not always a full star below you, but I'm always, I guess, for some reason, a little bit below in terms of that. So I'm actually going to go with a 2.5 out of 5, which for me, like I said, is kind of a C plus, C plus grade to start with on that. And, and then the face I would give it is a smile with no teeth. So
yeah, I didn't same one for me. I forgot to mention.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So 2 smiles with no teeth. so which means we enjoyed it. Like I said, we definitely look forward to the next project that you do, Thomas, and Mr. Thomas, and we hope that you continue your craft and continue making films, and and then obviously I think being only 18 and being so young, by the time you're 25, you'll probably be an expert. So hopefully if you have any questions, definitely let us know, or if there's any like I said, you can find the film currently. It's on Vimeo, and just search for Black Rabbit and it'll pop up on there. You may have to pay for it. I don't think it's too much. I think it's like $1.99 or $2.99 or something of that nature if you do want to check it out. But we thank you guys all for watching, and like I said, we'll be back again doing this Indie of the Week series. We're saying it's the Indie of the Week, but we're not going to be doing an Indie every single week because we have other films that we're trying to get to as well. So it's probably going to be like every other week or every third week, something of that nature. We'll just pick a film, we'll watch it, we'll review it, and we'll do the same thing. But once again, we thank everybody for watching. We hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you guys again real soon. Bye.